as team perspective, like you said, you guys was similar as Nepal when you guys were playing against the associate nations back then in early 1980s and 90s, and you guys got the ODIs and one-day transfer status. And you also knew like the challenge just started after that, right? You guys started playing against the big countries like India, Australia, and you also not only played but you won the game against those giant nations as well. Being a senior player, what was your thought process on that time? Because you were marching ahead for the big moments in life as well. And as a team, how was the team room, like the dressing room used to be at that time?
Yeah, it's a good question. Firstly, when we were playing international matches, we didn't win many matches. Playing against the big test nations, we didn't win many matches at all. So it was very difficult to keep our team strong. It was very difficult because if you're losing often, you don't feel very confident, you don't feel very good about yourselves. So actually the team staying together was a challenge. But as I said before, we were very proud about justifying why we were given international status. I find that the team, one of the most important things about a team sticking together and functioning healthily is if you have mutual respect for one another. You don't have to necessarily like each other, because this is impossible. You can't like make a good connection with everyone. There's too many people in the world. But I think when you're working in an environment like this, to respect each other is a very good start, because then you can treat each other in a nice way, and you're not abusing each other in any way, and then you can communication can be healthy. This is very important to keep a team together. And if you're going to respect each other, I think you have to have some agreements about your behaviors. So I think it's always a very good idea for teams, and this is part of leadership, but it's also your responsibility to have a nice, I like picturing it like having a big circle in which to operate. So your team operates in this circle.
You're saying bigger boundaries?
Yeah, it's like a boundary, okay? So you want the nice wide boundary so that you can be yourself.
Right.
Some people like loud music, they like dancing, some people like to sit quietly, some people like going out to dinner in groups, some people like eating in their rooms, some people like lots of training in the gym, some people a little less. Some people will smoke or drink alcohol or something. Some people think this is not the done thing. So I think you should have these boundaries definitely as a team, and you should talk about them. What are the behaviors that are acceptable? Behaviors is the key. What behaviors are acceptable? And have enough space there to be yourself. Yeah, that's important. But also know what that line is, so that if someone steps out, then hopefully your players say, "Hey mate, that's not what we agreed. Come back in. Get your behaviors better. Come back in." And that helps keep you together, because it's a very tricky thing to get a healthily functioning team. It's part of your job. Your job as manager, coach, manager, very important. Everyone's got an important role. Influential player, because of your experience in franchise cricket. So your role is very important as a role model. Obviously skipper as a role model, very important. But even the youngest player, I'm not sure who he is. Is it Gulsar, youngest player?
Gulshan is the youngest.